Bhagavato I arupasya chidatmanaha I arupasya chidatmanaha Maya gunai virachitam Mahad adibir atmani Mahad adbhiri atmani Etadrupam bhagavato I arupasya chidatmanaha Maya gunai virachitam Mahadadbir atmani Etadrupam bhagavato I arupasya chidatmanaha Maya guner virachitam Mahadadbir atmani Etadrupam bhagavato I arupasya chidatmanaha Maya gune virachitam Mahadadbir atmani Etadrupam bhagavato I arupasya chidatmanaha Maya guner virachitam Mahadadbir atmani. Word to word meaning. Etad, all these, Rupam, forms, Bhagavataha, of the Lord, He, certainly, Arupasya, of one who has no material form, Chit Atmanaha, of the transcendence, Maya, material energy, Gunehi, by the quality, Virachitam, manufactured, Mahad Adibhihi, with the ingredients of matter, Atmani, in the self. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhechana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The conception of the Virat, universal form of the Lord, as appearing in the material world, is imaginary. It is to enable the less intelligent and neophyte to adjust to the idea of the Lord having form. But factually, the Lord has no material form. Translation with repetition. The conception of the Virat, universal form of the Lord, as appearing in the material world, is imaginary. It is to enable the less intelligent and neophytes to adjust to the idea of the Lord having form. But factually, the Lord has no material form. The conception of the Lord, known as Vishwarupa or the Virat Rupa, is particularly not mentioned along with the various incarnations of the Lord, because all the incarnations of the Lord above mentioned are transcendental, and there is not a tinge of materialism in their bodies. There is no difference between the body and the self as there is in the conditioned soul. The Virat Rupa is conceived for those who are just neophyte worshippers. For them, the material Virat Rupa is presented and it will be explained in the second canto. In the Virat Rupa, the material manifestations of different planets have been conceived as his legs, hands, etc. Actually, all such descriptions are for the neophytes. The neophytes cannot conceive anything beyond matter. The material conception of the Lord is not counted in the list of his actual factual forms as Paramatma or Supersoul. The Lord is within each and every material form and even within the atoms, but the outward material form is but an imagination, both of the Lord and the living being, both for the Lord and the living being. The present forms of the conditioned souls are also not factual. The conclusion is that the material conception of the body of the Lord as Virata is imaginary. Both the Lord and the living beings are living spirits and have virginal spiritual bodies respectively. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachyata Deshatarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayati Viramit Prapata Mahamandir Subharam. In the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, where Shukadeva Goswami in detail explains the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And as Shukadeva Goswami begins the wonderful narration which the Parikshit Maharaj was eagerly waiting to hear, and each after completing one pastime, the Parikshit Maharaj becomes eager. So one pastime completes, then again he wants to hear another. He is more excited. He is not feeling, okay, kab khatam hoga, aur kitna time bacha hai. No. He is asking questions. Can you explain more things, more details? Next pastime, more details. So, seeing the enthusiasm, the eagerness of Parikshit Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami explains the pastimes even in detail as he goes forward. So, it is after the Putana's, the killing Putana. So, after hearing how the Lord Krishna is so compassionate, even a demon like Putana who came to kill the Krishna, for her, Krishna has given a position like a mother in his abode. So this is even very surprising. After that, the Parikshit Maharaj asks, explain the pastimes, childhood pastimes of Krishna, even in detail. So says after that, the Krishna was a very small baby. So in Vedic culture, there are a lot of ceremonies for every activity child does first time. Just like we have the Jata Karma Samskara, as as soon as child takes birth, they will call the one Panditji, astrologer, they will ask him to write the Jataka of that child, or even Namakarana Samskara. It is like there is another one Samskara called Uttana Samskara. So when this Uttana Samskara, when the child grown after few months, it becomes trying to turn backside up. Child is always lying on the back, but child turns backside up and standing in 4 legs. So that ceremony is called Uttana ceremony. So after killing Putana, Krishna was turned his backside up. So it was a great occasion of the joy for the Yashoda and all the other devotees. So immediately Yashoda want to celebrate this moment. Oh, child is now turned his backside up and about to crawl, about to start walking in 4 legs, crawling. So to celebrate this occasion, she called all the Brahmanas and other Rajavasis. So they were all making different kind of elaborate arrangements to celebrate these. So meantime, Krishna was sleeping in a cradle. So Yashoda Maya was very busy receiving a guest, Brahmanas and making other arrangements. She kept her in a cradle and kept below a cart. And she was making all the arrangements. Meantime, the baby Krishna got up. So as soon as when the child got up, what child immediately want to see? His mother. So mother is not there. So naturally child become angry. Child start crying. So in that anger and that crying, the child start moving his legs and that legs hit that cart. So what happened at the moment? The cart was loaded with lot of items. As soon as baby Krishna moved his leg and hit that cart, that all the items were loaded in that cart was spilled everywhere and cart got broken. So it was a big kind of a tumultuous sound. You can imagine a cart is getting broke and immediately all the other people were surrounding, they all rushed to the place. What happened to child? Is something very, anything happened to child? So, but child, baby Krishna was very happy, nothing happened to him. So then later all the gopis start inquiring how it happened. So then the small boys were playing around the cart. They were saying that because of the baby Krishna hit that cart with his leg, that's how it happened. So actually it was one demon called named Shakatasura was in the form of that cart, came to kill the Krishna, and finally baby Krishna sensed that and killed that demon. So like that, after some time, there is another day where Yashoda Maya was carrying baby Krishna, and baby Krishna suddenly becomes too heavy. For Yashoda Maya looks like he is not a baby. He is having a weight of entire universe. He is becoming so heavy. Finally, at one point of time, Yashoda Maya thought that, no, I cannot lift this child. Okay, so she left him under the below, and she went to continue her work. So meantime, what happened? There is one big demon called Trinavarta, sent by Kamsa. So he attacked on Gokula, that area. So as soon as he came, there was a big thunderstorm, a whirlwind. You know, when the whirlwind blows, what happens? Everywhere the dust. Practically, it was so, the entire Gokul was filled with the dust. Anyone not able to see anything. Practically everyone becomes the blind. So in that whirlwind, with that great force, Trinavarta comes and carries baby Krishna to the top. So, and all the gopas or gopis are not able to see Krishna, and after some time, when the whirlwind goes up, they are seeing the baby Krishna is in the sky. So, after some time, even for Trinavarta, who was carrying the baby, was thinking that I can easily carry that baby and kill in the air. So, Krishna becoming more heavy. So, when he becoming heavy, Trinavarta was not able to carry his weight. He want to leave that weight. He want to leave the baby. But Krishna is very smart. He's holding his lotus hands, he's holding the neck of the Trinavarta. And Trinavarta want to leave. He's carrying weight, but Krishna is holding him tightly. He is not able to leave the weight. So it's a kind of a very struggling moment for the Trinavarta. So at that time, the Trinavarta from very far height, not able to carry Krishna, not able to even do anything, he falls to ground. So that's how Trinavarta leaves his body. So like that, there are many wonderful pastimes was happening every now and then in Gokula. So every such incident happened, the Shrishnitai Gaurangaki, the Vrajavasis used to think, oh, some mystic, this child is carrying some mystic powers. That's how this child is unaffected by all these things. So this kind of thoughts, and they were ignoring. So one day, what happened? The baby Krishna was angry. He was feeling hunger. So his mother Yashoda took him on his lap and to feed the milk. And as soon as you start feeding the milk, now child is completely engrossed in drinking the milk, and child is happy, enjoying the milk from the mother's breast. So mother is also seeing the cute, the child face, bright, effulgent, cute, enjoying, and mother is also relishing kind of a joy in feeding the child. And same time, the mother is nicely massaging on the head of the child, so child can go to sleep. So after some time, after drinking the milk, child gets about to go to feel sleepiness. So baby Krishna, in that sleepiness, baby Krishna yawns. Right? When we get sleep, we'll yawn, right? We'll open mouth and we'll feel that yawning. So in that yawning, what happens? When the baby Krishna opens the mouth, in that mouth, Mother Yashoda able to see all the universes, all the planetary systems, and all the entire creation. So practically he is showing the entire Brahmanda to the mother in his mouth. This is the first time Krishna shows universal form to his mother. So, and after that, mother, when she saw that, naturally she got very astonished. She got afraid. She could not see that form or thinking that, oh, it's something very uncommon. She, in that mood, in that astonishment, she closed her eyes. She became very restless. Again, she was thinking that, oh, some danger is going to happen to my child. She started chanting the Vishnu Sahasranama and some other mantras, so the child can be protected. So again, after this, the Lord, Namakarana Samskara will happen. The Gargamuni will come and give Namakarana to Krishna and Balaram. Some more days passes. Again, after that, again, one more such incident, where, very famous incident, where baby Krishna, while playing with his friends, happened to hit the mud. And Balaram comes to Yashoda Maya and complains about Krishna, see, he is eating the mud. So then again, mother wants to chastise. She has concern, array, this baby is eating a mud. So again, mother calls him and asks him, have you eaten a mud? So naturally, Krishna won't accept, child won't accept. So then, mother asks you, open your mouth. So Krishna opens mouth. So in that, what happens? Again, Mother Yashoda, second time, sees the universal form of the Lord, Virat Rupa of the Lord. Says, she saw entire creation, all the living entities. There is so clarity in that. It's not some vague image she has seen. She has seen entire all the creations, all the planetary systems. She is able to see all the living entities. And she is able to see the desires of the living entities. She is able to see the desires of the living entities in Krishna's universal form. And seeing all aspects of the cosmic manifestation. Whatever the entire cosmos, this exists, creation, everything is able to see in that Krishna's lotus mouth. And also, finally, she is able to see Vrindavan Dham. And in Vrindavan Dham, she is able to see herself and again Krishna in that. So, when she saw that, Yashoda Maya became very philosophical. Actually, what is happening? Every now and then, Krishna revealing his divine potency to his dearest devotees. So, at that moment, Yashoda Maya come to conscious, oh, what I am thinking? I am thinking Krishna as my son, Nanda Maharaj as my husband. So actually, Krishna is not my son. He is a creator. He is a source of all the existence. So whatever I am seeing here, everything is temporarily manifested. In that way, she becomes very philosophical. So as soon as Krishna comes to know, oh, Yashoda Maya has become very philosophical. So immediately brings back his Yoga Maya's effect. So because if Yashoda Maya starts treating him as a supreme personality of Godhead, he cannot release the mood of the child and that mother, that Vasalya Bhakti cannot release. So immediately he brings back his Yoga Maya's influence on Yashoda Maya, and Yashoda Maya immediately starts thinking, oh, something entered my child. Looks like some ghost has entered. So she immediately starts calling some all devatas names, Vishnu Sahasranama, and taking Krishna to the near to the cow, and taking that cow tail and some dust she is putting on the child and chanting some mantras. Because in a Vedic culture, the cow tail is considered to be very auspicious If anyone, that cow tail with that cow tail, somebody, Shushnitai Gauranga ki, that dust of the, what is on the cow's hoof, they sprinkle on the body of the child, that is considered to be as a very safety and protecting thing for the child. So we start doing all these rituals. So here we can see how the Lord is very compassionate to devotees and shows this form to his dearest devotees. This universal form Lord is showing to his devotees. Why? Because through them Krishna would reveal the fact of his Godhood to future generations and for the non-believers. Krishna is taking the opportunity of intimate relationship with whatever the pastimes with his close devotees, and he is revealing the supreme nature for the create awareness even in the atheistic people, because atheistic people think that Krishna is one ordinary person. So that's why now and then making his pure devotees as a tools, he is creating this situation and showing this universal form to the devotees. So this is the second time the Lord has showed this universal form to Mother Yashoda. Then after after a long time again, third time, the Lord Krishna shows universal form to Kauravas. This is when, after all, the Ajnatavasa, when the Pandavas have come back and Pandavas were asking for their share in the kingdom, Duryodhana is denied. So at that time, as a mediator, so Krishna went to come to Hastinapura and he gives the peace proposal. So what is the peace proposal? What is the peace proposal? At least give 5 villages to Pandavas. Okay, somewhere they will, as Kshatriyas, they will be doing their responsibilities. So what is Duryodhana's reply? What is? सुई की नोकी के बराबर भी जगह भी मैं नहीं दूंगा. So in that case, in that scenario, Duryodhana denies. What Duryodhana does, not only denies the proposal, he asks his army people, go and arrest Krishna. What is the etiquette of the Raja Dharma? Generally, they won't do any kind of such thing to mediators, whoever will come carrying that peace proposal. They will send. But Duryodhana was so filled with the pride and arrogance. He asks his army to attack and arrest Krishna. So at that time, what the Lord laughed at Duryodhana's words, you are going to arrest me? I will show you who am I. So then Krishna shows his universal form. Duryodhana able to see the many hands, many arms, where Krishna is carrying different weapons. And the Krishna's form is so glowing, effulgent. At some point of time, Duryodhana won't be able, closes his eyes and not able to see that effulgent form. But in that assembly, there were many great personalities like Drona, Bhishma, Vidura, and few other saintly persons were able to see that Virat Rupa of the Lord. Even when there was Vishnu, that Krishna showed that Virat Rupa, there was a big commotion. Everyone in a shock in the entire that palace. At that time, even Dhritarashtra he was in a position, he was not able to see what is happening. So he prays to Krishna. Krishna, what is happening here? What is happening in this palace, in this meeting? So what Krishna does, Krishna gives a vision to even to Dhritarashtra. For that fraction of moment, even Dhritarashtra was able to see the universal form of the Krishna. So this is third time where Krishna shows universal form to few personalities who are in that palace. So again, immediately after that, the peace proposal given by Arjuna, Pandavas, and the peace proposal carried by Krishna was did not accepted by the Kauravas, so the war was inevitable. So in the Kurukshetra battlefield, as all of you know, Arjuna got bewildered. Arjuna told, "No, I won't don't want to fight." So then Krishna starts speaking the divine knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. So then, as in the course of explaining all his glories, from 7th chapter onwards, Krishna explains, just at the end of the 6th chapter, Krishna concludes saying that among all the yogis, my devotees are the topmost yogis. So then, how the devotees meditate on Krishna. So for that, he explains his glories from the 7th chapter onwards. That's why the 7th chapter is called as knowledge of the absolute truth. So where till that point, Krishna did not told anything about himself. But in the 7th chapter, he starts explaining about his qualities, who is he and all. So then later, as much at the end of the 10th chapter, he explains all the details very in detail. That's why the 10th chapter is called as opulences of the absolute. The opulences of Krishna, all Krishna explains, among the mountains I am this, among the trees I am this, among the stars I am this, among the demons I am this. So like that, all the whatever the great powers we see enter in creation, that all the great powers belongs to Krishna. So when at the end of the 10th chapter, when Krishna explains all these things, Arjuna asks, Krishna, I want to see all your opulences at one place. So that's how in the 11th chapter, Krishna shows that universal form. So what is that universal form? It says, when that universal form was shown to Arjuna, it was like thousands and thousands of suns which have arisen in the sky at a time. It was so effulgent. With the ordinary person cannot see that form. That's why before showing his universal form, the Krishna gives the Divya Drishti to Arjuna. So with that, and this form, this universal form which he was showing to Arjuna, it is different than all the universal forms which he has shown in the past. He says, this form I have never shown to anyone in the past. Whatever I have shown the earlier, all those are partial Virata Rupa. Now I am showing to you, it's a complete Virata Rupa. So it's a very ghastly form where Arjuna was able to see everything, and not only is able to see whatever exists, is able to see what is going to happen in the future, is able to see the past, is able to see the present, is able to see the future in that Virata Rupa. So in the future, how all these Kauravas are going to die, is able to see all Kauravas entering to that ghastly, the mouth of the Lord. So it's very scary. So in the purport, in the 11th chapter 47th verse, Prabhupada mentioned that this form was manifested by Krishna through his internal potency, which is inconceivable by human speculation. No one had seen this universal form of the Lord before Arjuna. But because the form was shown to Arjuna, other devotees in the heavenly planets and in other planets in outer space could also see it. So this form, this kind of an universal form was not shown to anyone before, but now the Krishna is showing a complete universal form, and who are witnessing it? On the planet Earth, Arjuna is witnessing, Sanjaya is witnessing, Dhritarashtra is able to see. And in the heavenly planets, in outer space, all the demigods were able to see this universal form. In other words, all the disciplic devotees of the Lord could see the universal form which was shown to Arjuna by the mercy of Krishna. All the devotees, disciplic devotees, were able to see this universal form. So, at the end of the 11th chapter, again, Arjuna requests, Krishna, I cannot see this form. Before that, if Arjuna comes into consciousness and means Arjuna understands, feels, I was thinking Krishna is my friend or my relative. I used to play with him, I used to make a fun of him, I used to eat with him. So what a blunder I have done. So in that feeling, he offers a prayers. And finally he says, Krishna, I want to see your original two-handed form. And now I understood, who are you? Understood. He asked, who are you? Asks, then Krishna reveals, Krishna tells, I am that Kala. I have a mission in this world. So then finally Arjuna offers prayers, and Arjuna requests Krishna to please show his two-handed form. Original form, two-handed form. So again, that's how then again Arjuna understands Krishna's supremacy, and then again Arjuna fights in the battlefield and he becomes victorious. Then again, once this Kurukshetra battlefield, entire battle ends, again Krishna shows universal form to one more person. Same universal form which was shown to Arjuna, again same that complete universal form he shows to one more devotee, one more person. So after this Kurukshetra battle, everything where Yudhishthira Maharaj became the king and everything settled in the Hastinapura. So Krishna went back to Dwaraka. On the way, he meets his one friend, childhood friend called Uttanka. Uttanka was a Krishna's childhood friend, and he was a great sage. So as soon as he meet the Uttanka and they have exchanges about how are you and all these messages, then Uttanka asks about what happened in the Kurukshetra. Then Krishna started giving all the updates to Uttanka. So this happened, this all thing happened and all. Uttanka became angry. Krishna, why you did not stop? So many people have died because of you. You have all power, you would have stopped it. He really become very furious, very angry on Krishna. In that anger he says, I am going to curse you, Krishna. I am going to give a curse to you. Then Krishna laughs, you are going to give curse to me? Okay. So then, in that heat of arguments, then he asks, are you the Supreme Lord? You are that universal Lord? If you are the universal Lord, show me your universal form. Uttanka challenges to Krishna. Then Krishna tells, oh, you want me to see my universal form? Here is my universal form. See that. So then, Krishna shows same form which he has shown to Arjuna, universal form, to Uttanka. Uttanka came to his senses. Arey, yes, he is not my friend, he is a Supreme Lord. So, and Uttanka start offering prayers to Krishna, glorifying Krishna. So, at that time, then Krishna became very much pleased with Uttanka's prayers. And he gave one very distinct boon to Uttanka. So, what is that boon? Uttanka, whenever you feel thirsty, there should be immediate water. Whenever you feel thirsty, in that place there will be immediate water. So, this is the boon. How? It's a very small thing. What is there? What is the big thing? Becoming thirsty whenever there is water is normal. Because Krishna was aware what is going to happen in the life of Uttanka in future. So, Krishna was aware to safeguard from the danger which is going to come in his life in the future. In advance, he has given the boon. There was one such situation in Uttanka's life where he got trapped in a desert. And in the desert, he is very thirsty. And he was not able to get any water from anywhere. He is about to die. At that time, because of the Krishna has already in advance given the boon, so the clouds come in the sky, the clouds, the rain-bearing clouds, and in the desert, rain happens. So then at that time, Uttanka remembers, oh, this is happening because of Krishna has given a boon long back before me, very long back. So that's why even it's in many places in India and even in the Shastras it's mentioned that sometimes in a desert or sometime where there is a drought in some areas, in that drought area some clouds come. Those clouds are called as Uttanka clouds. Even today it is named as like that. The clouds which comes in the desert are called as Uttanka clouds or Uttanka Badal, like that they call. So, here Krishna showed this universal form almost 5 times when he was personally present on this planet. Sometimes to his devotees, sometimes to non-devotees, to show his opulences, his powers, because in future there are many people may come and claim, I am the incarnation of Krishna, I am the Supreme God. So in all that scenarios where devotees can give these incidents and refer these incidents and ask people, those bogus people who are claiming themselves as a god, and they can challenge them to show them the universal form. So, and not only that, even in other incarnations, also Krishna showed this universal form. Anyone can guess which is other incarnation where Krishna showed the universal form? Ji? Vamana avatar. Very good answer. In Vamana avatar, when you want to expand into all the upper planetary systems and lower planetary systems, that Vamana Devas, Virat, he showed his Virata Rupa. So, and also, when Lord appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also shown this Virata Rupa to Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed this Virata Rupa to Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu, they were so jubilant. In case of Arjuna was shocked, Arjuna was astonished, surprised. But in case of Advaita Acharya was so jubilant, he was in ecstasy. Because he was saying that my Lord is same, the Supreme. This incident, this pastime will prove in future, anyone reads this pastime or hear this pastime, they will come to an understanding that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not different than Krishna. So this truth will be propagated everywhere. So in that joy, Advaita Acharya was jumping and dancing when he saw the universal form of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, why this chapter is mentioning about universal form? There is a very nice systematic flow in this third chapter. From the verse number 1 to 28, there are several incarnations, around 22 incarnations are explained. All those incarnations which are explained in the Bhagavatam are very transcendental, divine incarnations. They are all divine forms of the Lord. But now, after explaining that all the incarnations, few major incarnations, definitely not all the incarnations, then again the 29th verse, Bhagavatam is talking about Palashruti. What is the glories of hearing about these pastimes of all these incarnations? What happens to those personalities? That's what we discussed in the last week. By knowing the Lord's Leela, Janma, Karma, what will happen? So then again, in this verse, again, as in the translation which we have read, this is the Lord's and a temporary form. This form is a specific purpose. This form is an imaginary form which made specifically for the people who are atheistic, or there are some believers who won't believe that Lord has a form. To make them understand, so Lord has a form for such a personalities, these Virat Rupa exists, or it has been described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So for some people, if they say something very huge or very big, they will respect that. They will have and respect, regards for that. Some big mountain, some big river, some big ocean. So they say, oh, it's very respectful, very great, it has very great energy. They respect to that. So to make them understand all that is, which is a very part of Lord's creation, and Lord's, all these things, whatever exists is a part of Lord's creation and Lord's energy. To make them understand, the Bhagavatam talks about this universal form. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned that We have got experience of the Virat Rupa in the Bhagavad Gita, but that is not permanent Rupa. Permanent Rupa of Krishna is Dibhuja Muralidhara. That is the virginal form of the Lord. He has got two hands and playing on flute. That is a permanent Rupa. Virat Rupa, as it was shown to Arjuna, it is called Naimittika. Naimittika means it has under certain conditions. For some reasons, Lord will show this universal form to some devotees at some point of time to prove something. Otherwise, this universal form is a temporary, that is not eternal Rupa of the Lord. That's why devotees don't want to see that eternal Rupa of the Lord. Devotees want to see the beautiful form of the Lord where Krishna is holding a flute. Because for that form, the devotees can do seva. Devotees can decorate that form of the Lord. Devotees can do arati to that form of the Lord. Devotees can do offering to that form of the Lord. So devotees can establish a relationship with the Lord easily with his virginal form. That's why even among all the different forms, later after explaining this 11th chapter, Krishna showing the universal form, in the 12th chapter, very beginning, Arjuna asked a question. Is it, if somebody sees the universal form, they may think this universal form is great because it has all the great opulences, energy, everything. So that's why a question rises in the Arjuna's mind, which form is easy to conceive and to relate or to worship? Your impersonal form or your personal form? Which is the best? You please tell me. Because Arjuna personally wanted to worship that personal form. But somewhere after seeing all the opulences of the Lord, he got into a kind of a dilemma. So this universal form is so great, so big, so vast. So this universal form is big, or this personal form of the Lord which I want to relate or I want to worship, is that great? So that's why he asked the question. So then what Krishna answers? What is the Krishna's answer? What Krishna confirms? Which form is the easy or difficult? And what he says? Klesho adhikataras chetas. The path of impersonal form worshipping is a very difficult. It's filled with adhika kleshas. So that's why it tells, concludes, worship, telling that to please Krishna, to worship his personal form. So, in few more verses, we'll discuss in detail about this Virat Rupa. So, we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki